Hey everyone, this is Tree. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thanks for tuning in. Today we have
Sean Spearman. I'm a sophomore sociology major at Morehouse College, also known as DJ Ricoveli. So, yeah.
So you're a DJ?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So tell me about your AUC experience this far.
As I stated, I'm a sophomore sociology major. I came in, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Let me add that. Came in as a freshman, business.
North Carolina.
Came in as a business management major. Realized that business wasn't really my path. Changed my major to sociology. Sociology introduced me to what I need to be, going into. But I wouldn't say that sociology is exactly, for me. But I did, find my passion, throughout this time and my matriculation over these 2 years, which is education. I care a lot about, impacting communities, but I feel like it starts with education. Every child, every person is educated. They become educated at some point. But education starts within the home. So it actually goes a little further and a little deeper, which is why, I'm interested in a strong mixture of sociology and education. My experience here in the AUC so far has been phenomenal. I launched my brand as a DJ my second semester as a freshman, and almost a year in, I've conquered a lot of success. Done a lot of things, worked with a lot of people, from wiring DJs or different programs, from doing some of the biggest parties, and that all came from support systems that I had coming in with DJ Dos Diaz and Cody Got Beats and a number of other DJs who kind of paved the way for me. Yeah.
Sorry. So what motivated you to become a DJ in the first place?
I've been in music my whole life. I actually used to rap. I used to write music. I have a song on SoundCloud entitled Traumaville, which was a story about my city, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And it actually encompasses the news recordings of the incident that took place with 5-year-old Shania Davis. Anyone from the city, knows about that story. 5-year-old girl sold for drugs, raped, and killed. You did what I'm saying? And so that song actually got over 60,000 views. I've been in music my whole life, from writing and recording. It all started back in 3rd grade. But as I matured and especially throughout high school, I became more involved in my community. Was serving as SGA president. I was named 2017 Disney Dreamer of the Year. So really I became too active and too much of a role model to just be rapping still, even though I was always spinning a positive image. It was bigger than that to me. But what better way to still be able to impact people than music? You know what I'm saying? It's no better feeling than being in a room. You know what I'm saying? You're the DJ. You're playing the music that really determines everybody's experience. People pay money to go to a party. They hear what the DJ gonna play.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I treat every time I get behind the turntables like a concert.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta fulfill my audience's expectations. They want to come here. They want to hear their jams. They want to hear smooth transitions. They want to, They want to have a good time, and that all depends on the DJ. So coming into college, I began to teach myself how to DJ on the back end, before I came into school, and as I excelled in it and became better, I found it to be a great college hustle.
Yeah.
And since I've been here, it actually has turned out to be a lot more than just a hustle. It's become a lifestyle, and that's something that I never really intended to happen, but it did. As you put yourself in different places, and you isolate yourself from your comfort zone, sometimes you begin to excel in those spaces. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to go with that. You know what I'm saying? So it really happened a lot faster than I expected, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm glad for your success. It was pretty quick. Everything.
Facts. Thank you so much.
Fast paced.
Appreciate that.
Okay, so we'll get into the Instagram questions that I received. What was the hardest part about adjusting into the AUC environment?
My adjustment to the AUC has been an experience in terms of, so I came in just knowing that I wanted to be a Morehouse man. Not necessarily knowing what I wanted to do or what I was called to do or what my purpose was. I just knew I wanted to be a Morehouse man, because no one from my community has ever been able to say that. No one from my high school had ever really left and, went and experienced Morehouse. Guys had been accepted, couldn't afford it. I came in with a full ride scholarship.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I lost, some of that scholarship money along the way, but that was all through my doings and, my experience through, my Morehouse matriculation. But my experience in the AUC has been very unique. I've been allowed, to, push my platform in a way as both a servant leader and as a DJ. And it's been beautiful. I don't regret these 2 years that I spent here at Morehouse. I definitely came here and found my purpose. I just don't think that, I have to stay here to excel within that purpose. And I don't think that, even though Morehouse, offers some phenomenal connections and things in the long run, I feel that, you don't have to be a Morehouse man or a Spelman woman to be successful.
Definitely.
And my whole thing...
It's a name.
Right. It is a name. We're paying a lot of money for a name. And I have great respect for the history of the institution, all of the AUC institutions at that. But I say all that to say, finding my purpose here ultimately showed me that, me fulfilling that purpose doesn't require me to be here, and that there's not as much of a need here as there is home. And I say that to say I plan on going back, whenever I do transfer to North Carolina A&T this next semester.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'll be studying both education and sociology there. And Morehouse doesn't offer an education program, so I would have had to, dual enroll at Spelman. And it just would have been a very strenuous process. And I mean, not to mention that, my experience is unique because from the outside looking in, I'm doing great. I'm popping as a DJ. You know what I'm saying? I've made some really good connections just as a person, you know what I'm saying? As an individual, as a man, I've grown here in this space. But overall, I'm not happy here. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a good time, but I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? And there's a huge difference. And it took me, these 2 years in, to change my major and to, come across different professors who definitely made a strong impact in my life. It took me to go through those experiences to learn that and to realize that I wasn't happy. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. It's been a unique experience, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I've enjoyed myself, but I'm not happy with what I am and am not doing right now, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
For sure.
What is the atmosphere of the Brotherhood at Morehouse?
The Brotherhood is definitely something that has kept me going so far, to be completely honest with it, with you. And I'm definitely going to miss my brothers. Being in a space with black men who come from different backgrounds, even though, we are a school of all black men, or, for the most part, at least, there's still some diversity that has, that needs this recognition. I met guys who come from different countries. I met guys who come from different classes. I met guys of different races. Excuse me, believe it or not. Though it's a very select few. But us having those few outlier students to what we're used to, that also impacted my experience and throughout my Brotherhood, and just in terms of knowing and acknowledging the diversity that we have within the AUC, if that makes sense. So the Brotherhood is actually really strong, and I commend Morehouse for what it's doing. I just feel that the Brotherhood is so tight that sometimes we overlook what we're not receiving here, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or sometimes a person might step outside of actually fulfilling their own purpose because they're so caught up in the Brotherhood. And the Brotherhood is beautiful. These guys are going to keep you uplifted, and they're going to push you on. And these guys are going to be the next leaders of the world. You know what I'm saying? But you have to remain focused on individual purpose. And I think sometimes the Brotherhood can be so strong that it blinds you from that. And I think that's good and bad. Because it says something about the Brotherhood itself, but it also says something about how that can be over-encompassing to the individual,
Yeah, definitely.
So,
definitely. Okay, what is something that you failed at, and how did you recover?
So I mentioned that I lost, some scholarship money along the way, and I'm going to share this story because I have brothers who are out there who look up to me and who I have helped along the way in some way or another. And I just want to let you guys know, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You're going to mess up. I came in as a freshman, involved in what was going on with the freshman life and the AUC and everything like that. And I got a little caught up, and my grades were less of a priority. You know what I'm saying? Socializing and branding myself and all that good stuff, especially my second semester, I did terrible. But I say that to say, I came out a little less than a 3.0, lost some scholarship money, my academic scholarship to be exact. Still have Bonner. I'm a Bonner scholar as well, so that's really what kept me here, and I thank God for Bonner because it gave me that extra year.
For those who don't know, what is the Bonner Scholar?
Okay, so the Bonner Scholarship is a scholarship program that's awarded to servant leaders. Morehouse accepts about 10 to 15 students in each incoming freshman class, and gives them up to a full ride scholarship with the expectations of the student fulfilling X amount of community service hours, 240 to be exact, 280 to be exact, 140 per semester. And so, of course, I fulfilled that. Like, serving has never been an issue for me, but just a matter in terms of focus, I did lose my focus, and I did feel like I let myself down in that sense. But, you know what I'm saying, I had to learn that L's are not losses, they're learning experiences. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to take that and eat it. And I came back, I just had a phenomenal semester last semester, my best semester so far. GPA came up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still not where I wanted, but I see progression. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I just want to let my brothers know that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because a year from now, you know, I mean, there will be other stories, but I will not be here in a year to tell my story to the next generation of incoming Morehouse men or men of Morehouse. But I would like to just say that, like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. You lose focus, but you can regain yourself over time. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Because if you work hard at it, of course you're going to.
Big facts.
Exactly. Catch up. But what advice would you give to people trying to make new friends?
Okay. Always be yourself. That's first and foremost. The AUC can be so toxic socially, and that's something that I've dealt with personally. Don't get me wrong, I've never really struggled with making friends, but that's always because I just remain myself. But I've been through experiences where I've encountered people who you can just tell were not them genuine, like their genuine selves, and like just be you. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter where you come from, you know what I'm saying, no matter what type of person you are, there's somebody that's going to like you for you. And so I would never encourage anybody to step outside their element and become someone else, or to try to take on characteristics of another person that they're not in order to make those around them happy. If you got to do all that, those aren't your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, those aren't good people that's going to build and uplift your character. How can you expect friends to impact you if you're not being your genuine self? They have to see who you really are to know your flaws and what can be changed, or know your, you know, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest advice is just be yourself, period.
Okay, that was great.
Appreciate you.
Okay, what's your favorite moment/memory in the AUC? You have time to think and be honest.
My favorite moment so far actually was a moment that we took outside of the AUC, and that moment, two experiences that I'll share specifically. One was the Get on the Bus opportunity that I experienced my freshman year.
And what is that?
So Get on the Bus is a program that Morehouse has been doing for about 3 years now, approximately, where they take a bus of students and they go to a particular city. My experience just happened to be D.C. We went up to D.C., we visited 2 high schools, and we worked with those students, did workshops with them, put a program together. And at one of those schools, I actually met 4 of the guys who I helped receive the Bonner Scholarship for the freshman year. So, you know, That's 4 or 5 of them. I get the group confused. It's a group of them, though. I know them, you know, I know when I see them collectively, but it's a strong handful of them, you know what I'm saying, that I met in that moment, and that I made it my business to reach back and pull forward. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm grateful for the opportunity, because now they're in a space to where they're in that same position for the next generation. And the other biggest favorite moment that I had in the AUC is a program through Bonner, which is called It's on the House. And It's on the House is a program that's an annual program we put together. I actually had the experience of being the DJ for the night, you know, this year. But aside of that, what we do is we go out to the community, we touch bases with all the homeless, and we invite them in for one day to come in and get free haircuts, free healthcare, free food, music, you know, the whole nine. And we serve them the best way we can. Even like free HIV testing and like free health packages, different things like that. And I think that's very important. One thing that I'm really big on is, for us as an HBCU, and I don't just mean the AUC when I say this, but I'm going to refer to the AUC specifically in this moment, right? So the AUC is the heart and soul of the West End, one of the most rundown communities in Atlanta, right? If we've been honest, right? Yes. So with us being the heart and soul of the community, what are we doing to uplift that community around us? Because no one comes to the West End for the West End. People come to the West End for AUC. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So us being the heart and soul and the glamour, the small sparkle within this dark place, what are we doing to spread this light? And I feel that, you know, us having more programs like It's on the House and doing more things like Get on the Bus, you know what I'm saying, will bring, you know, shine a brighter light around our community around us. And I mean, quite honestly, I feel that, you know, if we as a community, as a HBCU community and as the AUC community, embraced the local communities of the West End a little more, we might would have less crime within, like, on our students and, different things like that. And I'm not going to go too far into that because, that's a sensitive topic for some students. But as an institution, I do feel that we could do a lot better at uplifting our community around us for the betterment of the community as a whole. We can't be selfish. You know what I'm saying? We can't invite all of these different people from so many different places into this one space to better themselves without having them reach back and better those who are around this community. I'm from North Carolina, so I'm not from the West End. I'm not from Atlanta at all. But I came here to this space, to somebody else's community, to somebody else's home life, to better myself. So why not reach back and help those around you? We teaching people to better the world, but we first have to reach and do what we can do in our local communities first.
I agree.
Yes, ma'am.
I definitely agree. Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little.
Mm-hmm.
So are you still in contact with your sister from the brother-sister exchange?
No, I'm not.
No?
It's interesting because we probably spoke once or twice since then.
Mm-hmm.
And I've developed, don't get me wrong, like, the brother-sister exchange is a beautiful thing, but understand that, like, your Spelman sister or your Morehouse brother, that's just one person. You know what I'm saying? And like, the way that it all happens, it's all at random. It's literally like, you walk in the line and whoever you meet is who you meet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just kind of like, it's not the most genuine way to meet a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's kind of like, either y'all gonna click or you're not. So it's a hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? But if it misses, fine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're gonna come across people, and I've developed, stronger sisters along my path. So I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? I wish her the best. We just didn't, we didn't hit off on the best note. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about long distance relationships and relationships in the AUC?
Okay. I'm actually in a long distance relationship right now. My girl actually goes to A&T.
A&T?
Yep. And so this is probably my first long distance relationship, but it's also my most serious relationship. And me being single for so long, it was an adjustment. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't always been perfect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It hasn't always been perfect, let me put it that way. But I didn't come in with the expectation of it being that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so, it's been a learning experience, but I've definitely grown as a man through this. And I've definitely acknowledged some places that, I could be a lot better in. Mm-hmm. In terms of just, with me, with, what I'm saying, with how I treat her, with how I respond to the things that are around me and me getting caught up in certain little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely been a learning process throughout the way. But honestly, like, I wouldn't rather be with any other woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm very comfortable with my relationship at this point. Like, it took me some time to, really get, because the long distance thing is hard.
Yes.
Coming off from being single, I was single since my, junior year of high school. You feel me? I've been single all through the rest of college, all through my freshman year. And it was, known that, no, I'm not cuffing. You know what I'm saying? That was just me. You know what I'm saying? But, when you come across a person that, really genuinely cares about you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They, care about you more than you, care about yourself at times. You feel me? And it took for me to meet her and to have somebody that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis, even throughout a long distance relationship, talking every day and just keeping up with each other, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She began to pick up on things that I might not necessarily see within myself, like the fact that I was so unhappy in the AUC. And the fact that I was so unhappy with what I had going on, and the fact that I was so unhappy at the fact that, why does everybody know me as a DJ when I've done so many other great things? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm much bigger than just a DJ. You know what I'm saying? But I had to realize of the space that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And it took
she helped you realize
it took for her to bring that to my attention. So my thing about long distance relationship, and then I'll just the AUC thing. But my whole thing with the long distance relationship is it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I never would have saw myself been happy in a long distance relationship if you would have asked me this a year ago or 6 months ago even. But I'm comfortable with it, and it worked. And we'll be good in the next 6 months because I'll be home. But as far as AUC relationships go, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But I have yet to actually date a Spelmanite or anyone from Clark or anyone from AUC in general. Mm-hmm. So I can't really speak on relationships itself, but my experiences have just shown me that I'm not here to find love for one. That's one thing that I made clear to myself. I didn't come here to find love. I didn't come here to the spell house relationship. That's great. It's beautiful if it works. If it happens for you, you know what I'm saying. But for me, it was just more
education.
I came here about my bag. You know what I'm saying. And I felt like a lot of the things, a lot of the women that I came across, just weren't the one. You know what I'm saying. And it worked out for me. You know what I'm saying. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
What is some advice that you would give to the incoming freshmen?
Any incoming freshmen that are looking at coming, and I'm gonna speak on Morehouse specifically, do your research. Be sure that what you want to do is, for one, something that's strongly offered here within this space. And I mean, weigh all of your options. Look at Clark, look at Spelman, look at the dual programs that's offered, and make that decision. Like, if you're willing to do all of that. Also, just know that, like, you're coming to a great space, but make sure you're coming here for you. Don't come here for the name. Don't come here for the hype. Like, come here genuinely for you if you feel like this is the space for you. Because now, I was so determined when I came in that this was the space for me. And I'm not going to say that it's not the space for me. It's just not the space for me right now. I came here. I found my purpose within 2 years. So I'm so grateful for Morehouse and all that I've experienced and everyone that I've come across. But for the next generation, I just want you to know, do your research. Make sure that you have the resources, first and foremost, before you just make that decision to come and commit. And just make sure that this is where you need to be and where you want to be for your future. Not,
Definitely.
For the look, just to say you're a Morehouse man, or, your community, they're rooting for you just because you're going to Morehouse. And, like, that's beautiful.
And not for your family.
Right, you know
not
what I'm saying?
For anybody else, but
exactly.
For
All right, that's beautiful. But just make sure you're making that decision for you.
Definitely.
And if anybody, I'm sure we're going to share our social media, but for any incoming freshmen, feel free to reach out to me. If I can't answer your question, I'll make sure that we put somebody, in connection with you that can help you, because that's what it's all about. And that's what you should be prepared for.
Definitely. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Tell them your Instagram or Twitter or anything.
So y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Ricoveli _ That's DJ RICOVELI _ You feel me? At DJ Ricoveli. Appreciate it.
Okay. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.